Ladies and gentlemen, Side Strafe back with some more World of Tanks, and today we are keeping it light. That's actually the title for Wargaming's weekend. They've got a special on a couple of light tanks, this being one of them, the Leopard. And this, in my opinion, has been one of the greatest light tanks in the game. It is their Tier 4 Scout, and in beta, this was the Scout. There was no Tier 5 in beta, and this was the go-to Scout tank. But as you can see, we've lit a couple of targets on the side there. It is time to bail now. The only downside is right now, the turning on this thing, come on buddy, you see which direction I'm going. The turning on this thing compared to its predecessor, the Luke's, is not so hot. However, it does have, I believe, a better top speed and just all-around better survivability due to its sloped and thicker armor. It's basically a mini Panther, as you can see from the stylings there. But we'll look into more of that once we get back into the garage. So, again, with this unit, I don't suicide scout. I am totally against that, unless it's just a last resort, and it just needs to be done. But right now, what I'm going to do is take a look around at the midline here, see what's going on. My crew is not 100%, so the performance of this is not adequate as of yet, so we'll see how much more they improve over time. And I do have all the equipment upgrades, though. I don't have any extra pieces like vent. This is a higher tier game, so we can't really do a whole lot of damage on some of these units unless we maybe just get in some annoying flanking shots. So I don't know. Not really going to do too much against the Type 59, considering I barely pen that thing with a normal tank. Oh, there you go. Look at that. Managed to hit him in the right spot. You can do it. I think this is a 50mm gun. That guy was mad. He's telling me off. What, dude? What's wrong? He doesn't like getting killed by this tank, probably. People get so upset in this game. Relax. Alright, so this is how I play light tanks. I'm just, you know, I like to flank, I like to annoy people, I like to eventually try to find their artillery if you can break through their line, which is the next step. But as you can see, they do have at least one medium tank on defense right by the flag. Some sort of VK. We want to be careful with that. What I'm going to try to do is cut in behind these guys. Completely just disregard everybody and figure out where that Hummel is. Usually, even if you have to sacrifice yourself to at least take out a piece of artillery, it's worth it. So I'm going to come all the way around here. Haven't found him yet. Some decent amounts of cover. Our team is moving in. Don't want to run over too much. I am slowing down here, so I am a little worried. Some of these hills are affecting my speed. Oh, crap. That's going to be the biggest issue. Hopefully he's not paying attention just yet. I don't even want to enter the flag zone because I don't want him to notice that. And there's a T-34 over there. That would hurt. He could probably one-shot me. Oh, crap. He's on me. All right. Use the hill. He's got an AMX on him to perhaps distract him. There we go. Oh. Taking fire. Get to these rocks. I don't know where that artillery piece is at. Yeah, it's some people that I do not want to tango with. They could be protecting the artillery over there. So let's go scout them out from this side. What we're going to do is try to get into this ditch over here. Or perhaps take the road. Go downhill. Okay, so I'm going to creep up around here. Where is that Hummel? He is hiding. I'm going to assume he's back here somewhere. Maybe. I've got nothing. Got eyes on a light tank. Alright, bail out. Bail, bail, bail. Oh, there he is. There he is. He sees me now. Alright, at this point, there's way too many things taking a look at me, so we want to be careful. They might start moving at me here. Let's see. They're going to go for that Hummel now, so... Oh, back up, back up. Yeah, look at me. While my friends come up on your 6 and take you out. There you go. That's pretty much what it's all about. See if we can take that 38 out. Nice rate of fire on that. This thing, I don't know what I can do with this guy except... No, he's done. And so is he. There you go. That's yet another example of how I like to do the scouts. I can't wait till my crew's 100%. This thing will fly. You can feel the performance of it just not there just yet. So what do we do here? We got some spotting bonuses here. And some destruction as well. Good game. That's an ideal game for me. You know, you're all about harassment. You want to stay in the game, not take yourself out at the very beginning. Because you can be such a great asset to the rest of the team, your artillery, your heavy tanks, by staying in the game and waiting till mid-battle point where they're not paying attention to you. You almost want them to engage your main forces so that they're distracted. Then you cut in, you flank them, hit them in the back, go after artillery. That's the way I think you should do it. Doesn't always work. Sometimes, you know, it's just bad luck. You get taken out early. But, you know, so this is the Leopard. Very famous tank in this game. Again, I said in beta, this was the scout. I mean, if you were playing in a clan match, this is what people assigned you as a scout. So, great, nice sloped armor here. Just all around better survivability compared to a lot of the other scout tanks because of the armor and the profile. Easy to get tracked, though. And I find that some of the German scouts are prone to getting their engines knocked out. So its predecessor is actually the Lukes. And this is another one that I recently unlocked because it was just such a fun tank. I don't know why, but it's just, I always had a blast in beta with these little guys. And they just perform, and they still do. So they haven't changed a whole lot, even though there's tier 5 entries these days. But, you know, this one actually existed. This one, again, was just a prototype or a blueprinted tank. But this one actually existed and has really bad armor. So it's an easy kill for most people if you can hit it because it's so fast and maneuverable. Now, there's a little trick to this one that I'm going to go over for anybody who gets this tank. Is that by default, you know, most people want to get the upgraded turret. And they want to get the final gun as well. Well, in this case, adding the new turret and the final gun actually increase the weight by a fair amount. I believe it's 2,000 plus even. So that actually can affect the maneuverability and speed of this tank. And considering the fact that this turret here, the upgraded turret, if you look at the traverse, 26 degrees a second versus the original turret's 39 degrees. You get a bit more sight range and you get more armor on the turret, but I don't know that it's worth it because if you look at, I mean, so okay, there's the upgraded turret. Sure, whatever. But then, you know, here's the downgraded or the original turret. It's very small, hard to hit. If somebody's going to shoot at this tank, they're shooting at the hull. And if they're shooting at the hull anyway, you're toast. You don't have a lot to go. 190 hit points. You're not going to last very long. It is tier 3, and sometimes you can get into some higher tier games, but, you know, still. It's more about just flying around and not stopping. So what you want to do, or at least try it, you know, it might be different for your play style, but keep the original turret, and then keep the 2-centimeter flak 38. This gun, it's an autocannon, basically, will tear up lighter tanks or tanks of your same tier, but especially artillery. You know, you get behind them, you run into them, just ba-boom, 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 and just let them have it. And it's a lot of fun, to be honest. And I would upgrade the final turret and gun just to see how it is, because at tier 3 everything's still pretty cheap. It's not that big of a deal. But we're gonna go in here and see what we can do. Again, this one, playing this type of tank, it's sometimes you die instantly, or sometimes you last the whole game. It really just luck of the draw, I suppose. Depends on your team as well. They've got 2 artillery pieces, M37s. And we have 1. So, M7 Priest. Alright. On this map, I like to head north. Come all the way around. Again, my objective would be to try to get to their artillery and just generally scout out the area. You know, get in, get out, find as many targets as possible for everybody else. Now, considering we have only 1 piece of artillery, you know, our job is going to be a little less critical for them, at least. Alright, so these guys are heading through here. Let's see if I can squeeze through these guys. Maybe, maybe not. No, okay. Okay, here we go. So, a little bit of a slow start, which I don't like. I like to be flying through this as quick as possible, but considering my starting location, not amazing. So, hopefully we can get some downhill momentum. You really start to see the speed of this thing. This thing drifts. If you cut those corners nicely, you'll get a nice drift out of it because it's so light. It's a lot of fun, actually, but unfortunately right now you're just seeing hills, so it's like, ugh. Worst way to show off a light tank. Alright, so that guy is just like, hey, I want to look at the sky. See you guys later. Alright, so here's where we're going to crawl through. See if we can do a little bit of... Oh, we got to be careful because that Stug is right on the money. So now again, a lot of people instinctively want to get in a scout and never, ever, ever stop moving. And that's fine. That's typically how you want to play it. If you stop, you're dead. But there are times when, before you've entered any type of contact, you should just hold back and say, okay, wait, there's a Stug and a couple other tanks in front of me. I should probably not go forward into there, because no matter what, they're all just going to line up their guns and take us out. So right now, those guys are at the far end. I'm not sure. We had some eyes on the Stug, but he could be camoed up. I am going to basically, at this point, start going into madman mode and go for it. Hopefully use the speed of this thing to not get hit, and try to light up some targets for friendlies. I usually like to take the wide approach. Oh crap, I just messed up. I didn't realize that was such a huge jump. Didn't realize it at all. I don't know if I can cross that bridge. I've never actually taken this route. And let's see how much base defense they have. Oh! Artillery sighted early. What I'm going to do is I'm going to flag the map for them. See? They're already lighting up that artillery because they know he's a priority target. And there's that autocannon. A lot of fun to fire, and he's done. Alright, let's get out of here. 5, hit the track. Go, go, go. We can't take too much more damage. Don't fall off. That could be bad. Not sure what hit us there. This other artillery piece seems to be hidden somewhere else. There he is. Alright. We're going to come at him again. Light up where he is at so that friendlies can know. And is he looking at me? Oh, careful. Oh, shoot. Ran into this? Yes! Friendly takes him out. That's all we need. That's all we need. Alright, what else we got? Take cover. We got a Lee coming to bear. Bail. Hit and run. Hit and run. If anything, I mean, even if you don't get the artillery kill, even if you die, if you go in there to distract them, because they see you, they freak out, and they're like, oh no, oh no, oh no. And what does that mean? That means you're buying your team time. That means that there's valuable shots being wasted by that artillery. Instead of shooting at your friendly forces moving in, they are running away from you. That's wasting a lot of their time, and that's, I think, very important. So we're just going to sit here and force a retreat on their part. So they're going to come back to the base and think, oh no, we're getting capped. Let's head back. But we've got this game in the bag. The team appears to be doing its job. We've managed to harass their artillery, and this gun is just a lot of fun. That guy's kind of just down there. I don't know if he has eyes on me. Don't think so. I'm just going to sit in the cap, grab some points. This game's pretty much over. Victory shots. As you can see, that flat cannon's pretty mean. You know, it against artillery, you saw that it can do some damage around these tiers. Of course, you know, standard rules apply. Aim for the 6. Sides, whatever critical locations that you can. Wow, what was that about? Careful, guys. I'm a delicate tank. I don't want to get blown to bits here. That's the Lukes. I love this thing. Very fun. And it's just one of those tanks that I felt like, you know what? I remember having a lot of fun with this thing. I was going to buy it, so I just bought it again. And I bought the Leopard again. There was 2 amazing light tanks on the German tree that I think I had even more fun than any light that I've ever really played. Now, there is the upgrade. You go to the VK2801, but from what I've seen of this thing, like, I never played this one. They didn't have it in beta. I don't know. I think from what I've seen of it, it's a bit slower and kind of bulky. Not a huge fan of this one. I don't think I'll be interested in getting it unless one day I just happen. I'm not going to spend any time looking for that. I actually have a lot more fun with the Leo and the Lukes. But let's do one more. Let's head off into the Type 62. This is, of course, the Tier 6 Premium Light Chinese tank. And, yeah, cruise almost 100% here. I'm trying to accelerate that. I've actually been having a lot of fun with this. Major fun with this tank lately. In the beginning, I was having some trouble with it. I was struggling. But with the crew leveling up, I've started to notice its strengths. Basically, for me, I feel like it's a great flank tank. The reconnaissance abilities for it aren't amazing. It does not have the best view range compared to other light tanks. And it's not as fast, nor will it accelerate as well as some of the others. But it has a nice gun on it. I think it's an 85mm equivalent. It's called something else, though. But it's really good for getting behind tanks and hitting rear armor or critical areas. So it's quickly becoming one of my favorite tanks. So it is pretty cool. Plus, it's a limited edition. Basically, you had to get it out of the gift shop. So again, special thanks to Mr. Suicide for gifting me this one, because it's turned out to be a great one. All right, so here we're doing some King of the Hill, which is always rough. Typically, they like to fight it out, due south. I'm going to take the long approach again and try to flank around. They do have one piece of artillery. Not exactly one of my favorite levels, nor am I 100% familiar with how to scout this one out, but I'm going to try to just stay on the outskirts until I can find targets of opportunity. And that's what it's about. It's not about frontline assaults, and it's not about running around in the midfield. It's not about throwing yourself into the enemies. Like, if you look at Golf 1 on the minimap, you see we got a light tank who's thrown himself forward. Sure, he's lit up some enemies. Maybe he'll get a couple more credits for that, or XP. He might survive. He might be a pro. He might just get through there like he needs to, and he might use a rock for cover and just keep them lit. You know, if you can use cover and keep the enemy lit for artillery or other forces, that's not a bad idea either. But don't be one of those guys that just wants to run into them, get like, oh, I'm not, you know, everything's too high tier for me. I'm just going to run into all of them and get some quick XP and then go back to the garage. So we've got a couple people here that are trying to take the flag. Again, I'm not going to worry about engaging in too much combat. I'm going to do one shot on this guy. and back out. Try not to run into that Type 59. That Easy 8 is not going to last long against an IS-3 and Type 59, I'll tell you that much right now. Again, we're just here for support. They have thrown quite a few mediums at this point. Now, the downside with trying to cap early is that the capture point has no defense. There's no rocks. There's nothing to hide behind. So the opposing force gets the high ground and can just tear you up. So look at all this support coming in, which means those guys are toast. It's like you're basically stuck in a bowl. And so once again, while these guys are distracted by the heavy forces, we can, you know, start coming in and annoying them a little bit, perhaps. They have no cover. They're stuck. I mean, shooting. This is literally shooting fish in a barrel. That's why you never want to try to cap right away in this mode on this map. I mean, in fact, you usually don't want to try that. I can't even see the guy anymore. He's like just hidden behind all these carcasses. They're huddling together for warmth. All right, nothing left. So they still have quite a few forces remaining. You can see at least 4 around Charlie 1, 2. I suppose we could just try to cap. I mean, we got enough people here, right? So by the time they get to us... Alright, I'm coming back to cap. Let's just see what we can do. Hide behind some of these bigger guys. Remember, capping in the King of the Hill mode here actually takes longer than it does in the normal games. In normal standard battles. So they have quite a few units left. I mean, we could end up in the same situation. All it takes is, you know, some of the guys are calling for a distraction, which I could go ahead and try to do that. Alright. But they're already coming in. I was thinking maybe I would go, but... There's a hit, but he's toasted. 83. Oh, crap. Here they come. Oh, shoot. I think he's looking at me because he knows I'm an easy target. Yeah, but he missed. Tear him up. Shoot, they may have gotten to us in time. There we go. We're just lighting them up, though. We've got some superior firepower here. This game should be ours regardless. And T-34 on the other flank. Inbound. Aw, bounce. That would have been a finishing. I love just hearing all those guns in succession. Boom, boom, boom. It just, yep, that's a victory right there, my friends. Just that devastation of firepower. Just awesome. So, again, we didn't do anything crazy on that one. Got a couple of spot bonuses and then destructions due to being spotted. A little bit of damage in there. But again, I think everybody gets the idea of how I choose to play Scout. Valuable, even to the end of the game, you know? I mean, I don't always drive them perfectly. Sometimes I get killed right at the beginning. But when you succeed, especially, I think the best example was with the Lukes just going in there and terrorizing their artillery, preventing them from firing at friendlies. And then the Leopard was mostly a spotting mission with a couple of light engagements. But that's the way to go. So again, it is the Keeping It Light weekend. Go ahead and check out the website. There'll be a link in the description below. They've just got a couple of deals. The Leopard is about $100,000 compared to its normal $200,000 cost. I believe the ELC AMX is also on sale, and this is a hot ticket right here. This French tank is annoying. It is super fast, very low to the ground, has a 90mm cannon that reloads pretty quickly. It's basically glass cannon, fast, maneuverable. Just 0 armor, but really hard target. Not a bad light tank if you like hit and run units. Again, the Leopard, and then I think there's something else on sale too, but I'm not sure what else. But I'll have a link in the description below for you to check that out. And again, I think it's mostly just overall credit cost on those tanks is discounted for the weekend or so. And I think that's it. So, ladies and gentlemen, hopefully you've enjoyed my look at a couple of these choice lower tier light tanks. I know I have had a lot of fun with them in beta and in live. So check them out. And thank you for joining me. I'll see you on the next one.